What you will see is a chart for characters in a story. A character can be an animal or a person. So for the animal, what I have is, I just have a pretend animal on the chart, and then I start with nouns. So I have all the different parts of the animal, their fur, their claws, their teeth, their eyes, and then I have descriptive words underneath those parts. Why did I do that? Because what do adjectives do? They describe the noun. So when they have a come alive box, they're writing their nouns first, and if they have an animal, they could go to their animal chart, find that part of the animal, and see many different adjectives to choose from. I've done the same for people, where I have the parts of people, their hair, their eyes, their smile, whatever it may be. I also have a figurative language chart on this page where I have secret formulas, which I will show you in a moment, that students will learn in order to add figurative language to their writing. You can Xerox off back to back, staple together these pages to make a resource for your students so that they can have more powerful adjectives and verbs. Let's look at each one of those pages. The picture of a person so that you can pull adjectives for the parts of a person to describe their appearance. An animal so that you can pull adjectives to describe the appearance of an animal. Different words you can use to describe the personality of a character. Emotion words, words that you will use, more sophisticated words to use to describe the emotion, how the character is feeling. We have the 5 senses word bank. This is the 5 senses of what something looks like. Notice we don't just have what something looks like, we have the brightness, size, color, speed, texture, shape. When you're talking about describing something, what it looks like, these are the different characteristics that you would go to, and then you would find those description words. On the next page, you'll notice a hand, which will say what something feels like. Its flexibility or its temperature, and you have words below that. Next to the hand, you'll have what something sounds like. Loud sounds, soft sounds. So that way students can go to those words for descriptions. We also have the what something tastes like, the flavor, or what something smells like, good smells, bad smells. So these are descriptive words that your students can go to for the 5 senses. If you are describing the setting, I have 2 different settings here. I have a city setting and I have a country setting. Again, I have the nouns labeling the different parts of the city or the country. So we could have windows, people, the buildings, the sounds, the trees, the weather. And then we have descriptive words underneath those nouns in order to help describe the city or the country. And notice this has verbs. Because the verb kicks off the predicate, it is the most powerful part of speech, and we want our students to have powerful verbs. So I've listed some typical verbs that you would see in many different Come Alive box or stories for students to replace those common verbs with more sophisticated language. This is where students can record their favorite word. As they're reading their own books, as they're focusing on the story of the week in language arts, if they're listening to a read aloud and they hear words that they absolutely love, they record them on this page. What I suggest is that you have the students write adjectives, nouns, and verbs, draw lines, and then have them record their favorite words underneath one of those columns. So if they want to use it in their own writing, they right away have identified the part of speech, which is critical because you know, oh, I want to add an adjective. Maybe one of my favorite words could be that adjective, and they just go to the adjective column instead of just a bunch of words written on a page. I have shown you all the different steps for a Come Alive box and the resources. Next, I will go into all the secret formulas for figurative language, and then we'll be ready for our narrative writing lessons.